everyone, and welcome to Sit Rep. Today's scouting report is on 2023 forward Drew Hansen. Now, this young man is making national attention as well as regional attention. First of all, he's 5'9", 150 pounds. He has scored the last calendar year a remarkable 51 goals and 30 assists. So, Drew, welcome to Scouting Report, and I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
So we're going to talk a little bit more about who you are. 4.57 GPA. You go to Christ the King High School, and you play your club soccer with CSA ECNL. And you just found out that you've been nominated in high school for All South Region and All American.
Yes, sir.
Right. And just several days ago, you guys won the state championship.
Mm-hmm.
High school.
The 1A bracket.
Awesome. Excellent. So why don't you tell me a little bit about how that high school season went, and maybe one or two of the highlights that you had during the season.
Yeah, sure. Going into the season, we already knew we were going to be one of the 1A state favorites. And over the last, since my freshman year, that was our first year that we really sort of emerged on the scene as one of the top teams in the state. And so coming into the season, we had set our goals, and we really just sort of didn't stop. The whole season, we only had one loss. We were 22-1, and I think the final stat came out. We outscored our opponents in our conference 103-27. So it was just complete dominance from beginning to end, and it was almost just sort of the perfect season. And I think two big highlights for me. It was sort of rough at the end. I didn't really get to do too much in the state final because I ended up with an ankle injury. But in the game that I got injured, that was supposed to be sort of our toughest game of the season. And we came out, and it was awesome. I scored a goal, I think, in the first 5-10 minutes, and then I had another one within another 5-10 minutes. And so that game was against Swain County, and we went out, and I think it was 5-0. And it was just an awesome day, other than the fact that I got injured. But got 2 goals. It was just a completely dominant performance. Our game plan that day was to try and I was playing a false 9, feed me and let me do just sort of do what I could. So it was a really fun game. And then another big highlight I think would be when we played Pine Lake. We were in a 1A/2A conference, and so we played 3 2A teams. And Pine Lake, who was the 1A state champions last year, who are now 2A, we had a game against them, and we went down 2-0 early, and we stayed calm, never gave up. I scored a goal to make it 2-1, and then in the last 20 minutes of the game, we scored, or actually I think it was the last 10 minutes of the game, we scored twice, and we won 3-2, and that was sort of summed up our season. We went down 2-0, stayed calm, and we grinded out, and we got the win, and it sort of showed that we were the dominant team in the conference.
Awesome. Now, I know you have your tournament season is on its way, right? So, talk to me a little bit about club. Now, if I remember correctly, you made ECNL All Region last year.
Yeah. So last year was my first year with CSA and first year in ECNL, and so. Our team last year, we didn't end up making it to the national playoffs at the end, but we were still definitely one of the stronger teams in the conference. And as you said, I had a really good season. I can't remember exact number, something like 11 goals and close to 10 assists maybe. And so I was in that first team all Mid-Atlantic region. And then, as you also said, this year we're just sort of getting into the season. We've got a showcase coming up in Greer, South Carolina, next weekend, actually, December 3rd through 5th. And my coach this year is Rob Dalton, first year with him. And so we got a lot of kids coming back from last year, and then also some new kids. So it's going to be a really exciting season.
Excellent. Now, when we talk about academics, which is obviously the most important, you have a 4.57 GPA, National Honor Society. Tell me a little bit about what you're looking to major in.
Yeah, so I'm super interested sort of in that like crossover, like the medical science kind of field, because last year I took honors chemistry, and chemistry I thought was super interesting. So this year it's super hard class, but I'm taking AP chemistry, and I've also taken some different science classes like physics, and then next year I have to take biology. And both my parents are doctors. My sister is studying to be a neuroscience major, and she wants to go pre-med. And so medicine sort of runs in the family, and it's something that I think is super interesting, not only from the science side, but I like the idea of having an impact and saving people's lives. And so obviously, like, I take super rigorous classes, and I like to push myself because I know that I have that end goal of doing something super challenging like the medical field. And so it's not only something that I think is super interesting, but it's also something that's like super important, and it's something that like that's why I push myself to do it.
Okay. That's awesome. So listen, thanks for being on. And I know that you're not going to be around long, not with your stats, with your grades, your drive, your passion, the stuff that you do within your community. So it's an exciting time for you, and I'm very excited to see how this all plays out. So once again, Drew, thank you for being on.
Thank you for having me.
And we will talk soon.
Sounds good.
All
Thank
right.
you.